What's the motherfucking deal, man? Welcome to the den. I'm glad that you could join me this evening. I am your host, Ed Honcho. I hope that you are having a super Saturday. I apologize for no den last evening, so I told you we'll extend a little bit tonight. Well, it won't be a super extended den, but we will extend a bit longer than usual. And we'll get some good conversation this evening. Again, like I said, I hope all is well. I hope everybody is doing good. And let's talk about it. So tonight we're going to discuss the current state of black politics. And I think that it covers a lot. It's not necessarily about Democrats and Republicans or independents or libertarians or any of those things. I don't know how many of you guys are Green Party or whatever. But I think there is a significant amount of things to talk about. So let's get into it. I'm blurry and shit. All right, okay, that's a little bit better focus. So first and foremost, let's see who we have joining us this evening, and we'll get to some good old conversation. My name, Edman, just Sarah. What's the motherfucking deal? I see Miss Bell holding it down. The bell has rung. What's the motherfucking deal? Kenneth. Gary gonna call a little later on. Kenneth. Shout out to Kenneth. He's a decent sport. Not really a good sport, but a decent sport. Yes, begging to lose. We got to keep the conversation genuine and honest. Rashida Hillary Reed. What's the motherfucking deal? Dita Gamma, what's the motherfucking deal? Hope you are doing well. Let's see. 335 in the motherfucking building, the stenographer in the house. Let's see. Bot not working must be a male bot. Ain't that something? Take that into the news. Make sure tonight that you guys get your votes in for worst caller. We'll be taking the last of those votes tonight. And those of you who have texted on the Denline, I do have your votes. Only one lie. What's the motherfucking deal? Let's see. Let me see. Beyond the funny nigga, what's the motherfucking deal? Empress Yaya, what's the motherfucking deal? Jason S, what's the motherfucking deal? Mike Rock, what's the motherfucking deal? Let's see. Yeah, I am getting a little bit more gray, you know. Look, that's what happens when I'm trying to grow it out. It gets a little grayer. I get a little bit more player, it gets a little bit more grayer. Shonda Tony, what's the motherfucking deal? Let's see. Let me see where we at. Yeah, female pimp is here. Shannon. Oh, well, look, Shannon, look. You don't ever know what to vote. If you vote, don't even know what the vote is. All up in the Kool-Aid and not even aware of the flavor. Yes, no, I hadn't had a chance to watch it. I do intend to watch it, but I have not had a chance to watch it. Beyond, I've been tuned out as of late. You know what I'm saying? So, as a matter of fact, make sure I got all the votes up today. So let's talk about some things. And the early birds, I will get you some stash your love. I have taken note of who was in here prior to me pushing the go-go button. Shut up, Scott. You don't know shit. You don't get no early bird pistachio, Scott. You can't even type. So shut your ass up. Let's see. Alright. Like I said, tonight we're gonna talk about politics. And why I want us to talk about I'm breathing so hard, man. Thirsty ass, nigga. Just had like this filter bowl full of water. You breathing all heavy and shit. Say 30K is too much for the early birds. Yeah, they get greedy and shit. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So that's what it is. Let's see. Yes, I have a white dog. I take all of my racisms out on the white dog. The bot is not acting right? The bot ain't showing y'all no love? The bot don't like y'all, see? See what had happened is, yeah, blame it on Sweetberry. Sweetberry done broke the goddamn bot. You know, just doing too much with it, just overloading the bot with requests and all kinds of shit. Yeah, it is. It's showing offline. So give me just a second. Let me why can't we ever talk about Hispanic politics? Because I'm not fucking Hispanic. But I do talk about how y'all are the large majority, and that's why certain groups are pandering to that demographic a little bit more, stroking the emotions and saying, hey, look, let me see, let's see what we got. Look. You giving gifts, now they demanding gifts. I don't know, you might be right, 335. You might need to lower down to like a 30 pistachio bonus. We just need to drop it all the way down. People demanding pistachio reparations and shit now. Why is the bot showing offline? Not sure why. Maybe it'll show up, maybe it won't. So let's get into it though. Let's get into it. Yeah, for some reason it's not showing. I don't know why it's not. That's how you say it, Scotty. See, this is white privilege right there. White dog privilege. They just step all on your desk, put their paw all on your paper like you ain't got shit to write down. You know. So let's talk about it. Politics, man. And what I want to say is, you notice there are two characters that I put on the. There's two characters that I put on the thumbnail. Yeah, I'm not sure why the raffle, the bot as a whole is not working for some reason. So usually it said, it would say the stream is online, but for some reason right now it's not. I'm not being very responsive. Shut up, Scotty. Nobody wants your opinion on anything, Scotty. But I'll look into it in a second to see why the bot is not cooperating. Again, blame Sweetberry because I'm sure it's her fault. The dog is named Scotty. So, one of the guys that I put on there, and these guys are neither one of them are politicians, but I kind of put where they align themselves. One of those guys is Al Sharpton, who I believe the majority of you are familiar with, right? I'm curious if anybody knows who the other guy on the thumbnail is. Again, I know everybody knows Alien Al and his coconut head, but does anybody know who the other gentleman is on that thumbnail? Because I think that he is very important to the conversation. Shout out to DC. That's funny though, right? That's funny because I'm gonna be honest with you. And we're talking about black politics, we're talking about black things. I guarantee the majority of the black people in here did not know who he was, right? And I'm assuming DC, I'm not sure what your race is. I'm not even familiar with if DC is male or female. I've seen the name a few times, but I'm not sure. But Lockwood, good deal. And so, because I asked a question about some other black figures, a couple of days ago, and every now and then, and a lot of people are like, who are they? Who is that? Who is they? They're not familiar with them. But I think these are characters, these are people that people need to be more familiar with. It's very important. And Thomas Sowell is not a politician, he's an economist. Been doing this thing for a long time, very long time. And a very intelligent gentleman. Came from lower class neighborhood. Actually, I want to say grew up in Harlem way back when, and I think it's in the 50s or 60s. But he's not necessarily a politician, but he does, espouse his views on politics from time to time. Very intelligent man. I don't think he really panders. I mean, he's definitely conservative leaning, but I don't see him as a panderer or a pusher. You know what I'm saying? And yes, Sweetberry, you broke it. Like, if anybody who's mad at the bot, blame Sweetberry and all of her shenanigans and tomfoolery, because that is why the bot no longer works. Let me see if I can, let me see if I gotta reauthorize. It's gotta move, man. Burping and shit in my face. Disgusting. Yeah. Fucking dog burps. Just a second. Let me see what's going on here. Refresh all this good stuff. Because usually at this point, sometimes the bot takes a second to catch it live, but usually it doesn't take that long. So I know what they're trying to do. So they're trying to make me start using this cloud bot service. That's what they want me to do. They want me to start cloud botting, putting all my info into the cloud. You know what I'm saying? For some reason it's not showing up. For some reason the bot is just, it's not working. And again, I don't understand, and I hate it because the sauce did have a little bit of a disruption earlier, slightly. But for the most part, the sauce runs fine. Whenever we get into the den, I don't know what it is about the fucking den. It just, it fucking drops frames like fucking crazy. Like, I don't know what it is. I don't know why. And, you know what I'm saying? So, but my thing is this though, right? And, Scotty, get your ass all out the camera and shit. You gotta get on the ground. You're doing too much. You're doing too much. I didn't even put any tags in the fucking thing. Oh, I'm sitting there thinking about it. I'll be honest, it gets very annoying dealing with the stream. Yes, it's probably lagging terribly. Let me see what's going on here. What the fuck is Microsoft Edge even a thing? That shouldn't even exist on here. Try something out. It's not on y'all's end, it's on my end for some reason. Like I said, I'm gonna have to kill something. I wonder if the Streamlabs bot has something to do with that, because that's the only thing that that's the only thing different that I do in the den compared to that's the only thing different that I do in the den compared to the sauce is the Streamlabs. So I wonder if that bot has something to do with it. That's definitely something I may have to think about. I may have to see if that's the case. And I've been thinking about it. It has to be that, because that's the only thing that I do differently But yeah, but see what happens, I took the Streamlabs off there at the bottom, I took it off, and then now it seems like it wants to operate a little bit better. I'm gonna see what happens when I put this back on, and if it gives me the same issues, if it starts lagging or doing anything crazy. But it could have been Scotty. It could have been Scotty's ass that was fucking it all up. Scotty's nub may be getting a bad signal. I don't know. It's back on, but for some reason it's not showing it's online. There's some type of issue with it. Anyway, get way off topic. I haven't even got started on the topic. Scotty's trying to get on my nerves. Look, man. I brought you down here so you wouldn't do the upstairs by yourself. You don't have to make a decision. But I don't, look, hey, it wasn't really an invite. Anyway, get back to the conversation. I'm way off topic. We've been here for 20 minutes and I ain't talked about shit yet. So, here's the thing. I don't want to talk about black politics because we know that black people lean heavily Democrat, have been doing so forever. And yet, if you bring up a suggestion of, well, why don't black people vote, conservative, why don't they lean Republican, or why don't they do that? You will get attacked, you will get violated, you will get called names, but yet, even voting for the same people for 40, 50, 60 years, there has been no change. You're still complaining about the same problems over and over again. I posted a clip in the video of the Facebook group, in the Facebook group of some people in Baltimore, and they were having a conversation, if you will, with Al, basically telling him to go back to New York, telling him that, he don't have any purpose here, and other black people getting mad at him. Well, why don't you go back to where you're from? Like, well, I'm from here. I'm from fucking Baltimore. Schools are shitty. You're defending this dude Cummings, and he's done nothing for the city, and stuff like that. And I think certain people are paying attention, but I think a lot of people just really don't pay any attention. I think a lot of people don't give a shit. I think a lot of people will just accept what is given to them. They're just going to follow the status quo because that's what everybody else is doing. We've talked about reparations. We've talked about, always these promises it seems like one side is making. But I guess people would rather feel like they're getting some kind of attention, even though all of those promises that never come to fruition, all those promises that get made but never get dealt. Every 4 years they give you some more promises and they never fucking work, right? But yet you keep voting for them, hoping that those promises are going to come. But then you have people who say the other side, well, they just they're racist and they're this and they're that. But don't you think the other side could have it too? Because have you ever seen a liberal person or a Democrat when a black person does not vote Democrat? Have you ever seen how they respond to that? You know what I'm saying? Have you ever seen that? They have no qualms calling him an Uncle Tom. I'm talking about white people. They will call a nigga a Uncle Tom in a second if he is not a Democrat. But if that was to come from the other side, people would lose their shit. But for some reason, we associate the liberal mentality with peace and tolerance. And I'm not going to sit here shitting on liberals the whole time, because conservatives have their issues too. It's a variety of things I want to talk about, but it's just certain things I don't understand. But my point that I really want to get to, I guess, through all of it while the stream is actually working, is should black people even really be involved in politics? And part of it is, yeah, because I think we've gotten ourselves so deeply ingrained in a bunch of bullshit because we've been involved with it for so long, that motherfuckers have become too dependent on the government to exist and survive. And that's why I guess now part of it is that you kind of have to. But at the same time, they're leaning to a side to me that is not doing any favors for the black community, and that's my problem. Part of my belief is that they shouldn't be worried about anything that the government has going on, and they should be more focused on the economics of everything, instead of being worried about oh, Trump said something that makes me feel uncomfortable. Right now, who gives a fuck? Like, who really gives a fuck? Like, I'm telling you, I don't understand how tired I am of niggas running around complaining and blaming Trump for everything. This man's been off for 3 years, so your life has only been shit for 3 years, so it was all good before that. It was all, what did the heck say, it was all rainbows and unicorn farts before that. Like, the problem is, we talk about things being a distraction, about things being a, you know, what do you call them, red flags and all that other shit. But I don't think it's any of that. I think it's you're letting one group of people tell you, because you lean so heavily with this group of people, tell you that it's the other group that's making all these problems for you. But in reality, the group that's making these promises for you and the group that's allegedly making these problems for you, none of that is happening. That one group is not making problems for you. That other group is not fulfilling promises for you. The problem is that you're not taking matters into your own hand and succeeding. A few years back, there was a song by a guy who the last few elections has been performing and doing stuff for one particular side, but he had a song called Black Republicans. But yet he's been campaigning for the Democrats. He's been campaigning for Hillary, and he's campaigned for Obama and, you know, everybody else. A lot of these other guys, certain black leaders. I don't know why our leaders are always entertainers and fucking actors and shit. This is who you get your life advice from. An entertainer, a fucking actor, a person who gets paid to perform, you know, but whatever. That's a whole nother fucking conversation. But these people are telling you, these people are telling you how to live your life, even though they're the 1%ers. They're the ones you complain about. They're the ones that you swear are making the world such a terrible place, but we love to promote these people, even though they don't have your best interest in mind. And I'm talking about Jay-Z. I want y'all to seriously think that, you know, when you talk about drug dealers, hustlers, people who came from nothing, especially listen to a lot of these rappers, right? You hear every rapper who swears that he was a dope dealer. If you owe me, even if it's $1 you owe me, you better give it to me or I'll kill you for it, or whatever, you know. You've heard this line in variations, many different rap lines. So you're telling me that they're willing, if they want every fucking dollar they can get their hands on, you're telling me that these same guys are willingly voting Democrat because the Democrats want to take a bunch of their money and split it up. Hey, if you're making more than $2 million a year, you need to be taxed at 70% on that and all this stuff. You're telling me these guys are just willing to give up money to whomever? No. But they'll tell you that. They'll tell you all this stuff in public. Yeah, you need to do this and you need to do that. No, it doesn't really matter because they're not voting fucking Democrat. They're going to vote for whoever lets them keep the majority of their money. They're not in the same class as you, but because they look like you automatically assume that they're doing that. My thing is, even if you listen to the shit that Jay's talking about on that 444, whatever song is, that's a capitalistic Republican mentality, right? That's not a liberal mentality, but yet he's telling you, go vote for Hillary and go do this and do that. Why? Because there's a certain level of PR that goes with this. If a black rapper told people to come out and vote for someone conservative, niggas lose their shit, man. Niggas lose their shit, and that's part of the problem. Like, we got to get okay. Stream is live now. Okay. Oh, we live. Okay. If a nigga tells a nigga think differently, they lose their shit. Steve Harvey came out and said, "Hey, rich people don't sleep 8 hours a night." People lost their fucking shit. Yeah, Scotty walks across the desk. That's his white dog privilege. Every time I say his name, nigga be giving me an eyeball. Like, I just took you for a walk and you just took a super shit. Yeah, Nas does have the best part of that album. But my thing is that Nas is making money hand over fist. He is killing it. He's made some very wise investments. People don't see that. Like I said, you know, and he's low key and he's still touring and doing. As a matter of fact, he just came to the city. But that's what people don't see, man. Like, no, Jay-Z don't give a fuck about a nigga. Jay-Z nor Beyonce nor any of the rest of these people give a fuck about anybody unless they're putting money in their fucking pockets. You know what I'm saying? And so it is what it is. So my thing is this though. We gotta stop looking to these idols we stop idolizing these people who have a different hand in, I don't want to say a different hand. They live a different life than we do. They're not dealing with the same issues we live with as regular people, as day-to-day commoners. You know, the person goes and makes $1 million for performance off for working for 2 hours or so. And I'm not saying that they're not working behind the scenes and they're not doing all that. But, you know, what are y'all talking about? Change what you're saying. But, yeah, and that's the thing. And that's the issue. And we talked about it, and shout out to John from New York the other day, he mentioned it. I ain't gonna talk to him, I'm gonna open up the line here in a little bit, but we're gonna talk about some more things. That's why I say I'm a firm believer in Malcolm over MLK. Now, I'm not saying MLK may or may not have had good intentions. Y'all can feel however y'all want to feel about it. But there's a reason you don't see any roads named after Malcolm X. You don't see any streets named after Malcolm X. There ain't no schools named after Malcolm X. But Malcolm X told you there would be no white savior. Look out for your own, like take care of your own business. See, this is my problem with a lot of things. And this is why I say it's time to step back from politics. And pretty soon you're gonna be forced out of politics. And Big M made a point earlier. Big M made a point earlier that the Hispanic population has now become a bigger voting majority than the blacks. Like it's passed them up with everything. And then in 2020 is gonna be a few percentage more. That's why they're not catering or pandering. They'll throw a little buzzword out here to you, a little bit here, a little bit there, but it's not about that anymore. What is the Hispanic issue? Well, immigration, because everybody Hispanic at some point, somehow, some way, for the most part. The majority have some uncle, cousin, you know, nephew, whatever, whose legal status may be in question. You're looking at I don't got no candy for you. Why are you looking all in my face, Scott? Like, do y'all see this? Do y'all see this right now? But, you know, he told you there'll be no white savior. You have to, you know, essentially pull yourself up by your bootstrap, but niggas hate that term. But my thing is, there's so much. There was something I read y'all the other day. We talked about the little, whatever they call it, with the Asians and how they look out for each other. And I told y'all the story about the Arabs and how they, you know, work with each other. But then we talked about crab in a bucket mentality, and you know, people have different opinions on reparations, and that's fine. You know, I don't personally believe it because I don't think it's going to be. My thing is the process. Like, how long are you going to wait? Like, how long are you going to wait for it to happen? You know what I'm saying? I don't got time to wait. I want to win now. Like, I don't want to win when they say, okay, we're going to give you these checks, because then guess what? The next statement turns in, well, those who manage to keep their money, those who don't go on a crazy ass spending spree, those who try to go buy $100 worth of fucking jewelry and think they make smart investments. And I tell you, this is my thing about reparations. People are free and to do what you want to do with your money. Most niggas will get reparations will be broke within 3 months. I don't care how much fucking money you give. These motherfuckers hit the lottery, multiple millions, and be broke within a year. Niggas will be broke in 3 months, and the money will go back to where it came from, and it'll be put back into the hands of. It'll make the rich even richer, because what's gonna happen is niggas gonna go buy Gucci, they're gonna go buy Jordans, they're gonna go buy all this other shit. And so, you know, well, guess what? Then you gotta make your boots so you can pull yourself up by your bootstrap. Man, I can't hear that. I understand that, because we'll talk about that, but then, you know, again, we can go to talk about slaves, actual slaves, like people who were enslaved, beaten and whipped, who became successful after slavery. And if that's the case, no one has an excuse. I don't have an excuse. You don't have an excuse. No one has an excuse. You know what I'm saying? Get out, let the dog host. Well, fine. And if this how we're gonna, I'm out of here. Screw this. You know what? You guys want Scotty? You guys can fucking have Scotty. I'm out of here. This is yes. Scotty, you just take over the show. It's your show now. I'm out of here. I'm going. I don't have to deal with this crap. Don't look at me, I can't do it. The people want you, Scotty. That's what you got. That's what you're giving them. That's entertainment, huh? Well, I guess you're better than Twitch thoughts. All right. All right, I'm back. Scotty didn't want to perform. He didn't want to deal with it. But my thing is this, and I know it has a racial connotation to it, but it's not about racism. I feel like it's just I look at black folks and I'm just like, man, you got to do better as a whole. I have nothing against anybody else. I have no issues with anybody in their situation. But we live in a day and age where anybody can win. But people choose as a group, as a collective, not to win. People choose to blame other people for their problems at this point. Yes, we can talk about the residual effect, but what is that doing? What is complaining about history doing for the future? You know what I'm saying? I agree, and it's just like, you know, my thing is, what can I do for racism? What can I do for all of them? What can I do? I can build opportunities for others. So, like, the kid who had the situation, something happened with his hair, they wouldn't hire him at like Six Flags or something. Well, he got put into a better situation because of the outcome. I think he ended up becoming a model or some shit. You know, if I build opportunities, jobs, and businesses, and when somebody say, well, I'm getting discriminated against because of, you know, this, that, or the third, well, me complaining about it isn't going to do shit. But me being in a situation where I can say, hey, well, you know what? I got a business. I can start you at an entry-level position. You know, you may only be making so much, but you can learn from this and then take the skill and grow with it. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is, man. Like, again, that's what we talked about Bass Reeves, and we've talked about, you know, and it's actually two women. It was, goddamn, I can't even think of her name right now. Madam fucking, my memory's bad. I need more sleep. God damn, y'all know what I'm talking about. Madam fucking, I don't know, yeah, good luck with that. And then shit, if McDonald's is telling you gotta cut your dress, keep working. Leave and go work anywhere else. McDonald's is like the lowest tier for what you're gonna find. But my thing is, like I say, you know, you've had people who were truly enslaved, and that's why I say when people talk about now, oh, this is systematic. There were laws against people reading, laws against people, you know, and you get loitering in the streets. You know, we can talk about Jim Crow and all that. People still found ways to be successful, but we don't want to harp on that. We want to harp on the negatives. Let me tell you something. Money talks, bullshit walk. Do you see anybody? And I use these people as a reference all the time. Do you see anybody pandering to the Asians? Do you know when politics comes around, do you ever see politicians pandering to Asian people? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's what I'm not trying to. Because guess what's going to happen? As long as you have people with differences, there's going to be divisiveness. I'm not trying to save nobody. I'm just trying to express my thoughts. Because even if you want to talk about, well, back in Africa, niggas in Africa was fucking niggas up because they had wide noses. Because their skin was a little bit lighter. We talked about Hotel Rwanda the other day. And motherfuckers was killing each other because they looked a little bit different. These are black people to each other. So no matter what you do, there's always going to be there's always going to be a problem. So if you use that as your excuse, man, you're just wasting time. And time is the one thing you're never going to get back. So, Angela, howdy, Angela. He left has better. Exactly. If you have a certain standard that you want to have for yourself, then level up your game and take a better opportunity. You know what I'm saying? And so that's all my deal is. It's just like, look, you provide and you create, you win. You know, what if what's the little dude, and he's like killing it now, and he still went to college, he was like killing it. He started off reviewing his mom's laptops on YouTube using technology and things. And now he's like one of the most popular YouTube. Marcus Brownlee, I think his name is. What if he used that? Well, it's systematic. It's only the white people having success on YouTube, and that motherfucker put in work, and now like anytime they anybody drops something technological, they go to him first. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. Asian people don't care about the politics. Is guess what? Money gets you what you want. If you're not hurting for money, you don't care about the rest of the shit that's going on. You have your own community where you're comfortable. You're not worried about it. You're not not saying that they're in trouble. There's some Asian gangsters and shit out there that, it is what it is. Asians like automatic weapons. Why is that? That's a thing. Anyway, that's for another stream. But their kids aren't falling into the trap of the BS because they're strict. They're strict about education. They're strict about working. I told you about the little fucking 5-6-year-old kid working the register at the donut shop. Like other kids learning, counting on their fingers, 1s and 2s. This nigga, man, this shit gonna be $6.93 player. Go ahead, I got your change. Giving them that experience. He's got work experience at a young age. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't care about none of the rest of that shit. Like, I understand the passion behind it for everybody. I understand it. If that's your motives, cool, fine, and dandy. But show me solutions. I'm to this point where I talk about 5% problem, 95% solution. I'm solution oriented, man. Like, what is the answer? How do you solve the fucking problem? You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna ramble as long as I want to, Angela. And just because you said I'm gonna ramble for another 5 minutes, God damn it. I'm a rambling man. But exactly, like, here's my thing though. But getting back to the politics part of it, and why I say, why people ask, I consider myself independent, but why I lean much more conservative is because I cannot align myself with the thoughts of. I'm gonna be honest, like, the liberal man these days is soft. Very soft. Very fucking feminine. I don't care about identity politics. I don't care about LGBT issues. I don't care about your fucking pronouns. These are not issues that are going to impact my life. And I don't give a fuck about motherfuckers being dead named and all that other shit. That shit is irrelevant to me. It's not going to improve my life at all. If somebody gets called the name they want to be. Man, let me talk about something real quick, and I'm very upset, and I'm going to open up the line after this. Last night, like I say, I was kind of chilling, and I wanted to go to bed early, and I couldn't sleep. I'm sitting there looking at the ceiling, thinking about some shit. Excuse me. So I said, fuck it. I got up and I ended up cutting on Netflix. And I knew better. Than cut on Netflix, but I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna find something to watch. And I'm not interested in watching anything. I told you, I've become very, very disinterested in entertainment as of late. From the music to the fucking TV shows. I don't even really watch YouTube as much as I used to. I don't know. My thought process is changing. But I said, fuck it. I had the nostalgia bug bit me. I saw they had some shit for Rocko's Modern Life. Right? I said, well, fuck it, I don't watch Rocko's Modern Life. And I knew before I cut it on, I said, I'm going to be disappointed. Something on this is going to be, it's going to be an issue. It's going to be some type of political pandering in this fucking show before it's all said. I'm hoping and praying it's not, but it is. And I figured it out before it happened, and I knew probably about 5 minutes before the situation happened. I saw it. Rocko's Modern Life. Remember that cartoon? You know what I'm saying? The fucking used to come on back in the 90s with the fucking goat, not the goat, the fucking the fat cow and the turtle and shit. Heifer, yes, Heifer. Heifer and the turtle, whatever his name was, and the big head, not the big heads, but the frogs or whatever. So Used to love it. I'm like, I thought I was going to enjoy it. And yep, they had a good old message in there. Trixie McFly, what's the motherfucker? And Cassie, what's the motherfucker? I didn't give you a proper shout out. Shout out to Miss Cassie. I don't know how many people are going to watch it, so I'm not going to ruin it. But there is definitely a political message in there. A sign of the times, if you will. You'll see. Big M, thought I gave you a shout out. Well, Big Mexican, what's the deal? But you know, and I watched and I just got to a point when I saw what happened, I'm just like, great. I tuned out. I was just, I'm done. And that might be, and you might actually be right. And it might be now because maybe I'm an adult and watching certain things that you see more so of it than you used to. But everything is bothersome. Everything is troublesome. But yeah, the liberals don't want men to be men anymore. I don't know if y'all saw a little video. Again, I don't know if you follow the Den Show Twitter and the Den Show Instagram is different than the my personal stuff. But I posted this video of this feminist talking about we need to kill all the men, even kill men babies, and the society will go on just fine with women. But yet she looks like a man. She looks like a cross-dressing man. I guess what is it? Is it for women cross-dress? Is that what it is for women? Can they cross-dress? Like I don't know how that works, but you know, yeah. Who hurt you? But this is the message that they're trying to like. I don't know if she knows how biology works. Or maybe they figure they can just go to all the sperm clinics and use what's left. But then, you know, but then again, like, what's the difference? Again, you know, those are the same type of people who really ain't giving too much of a shit about abortions or anything like this. They don't care if they find out the baby's male young. It's not a full baby. Let's just kill it anyway and carry on. But I don't think she understands how biology works, how human nature, how people procreate. Just kill all the men because men are always the problem. All right, yeah, good luck with that, goofy bitch. So my thing is just like it's a crazy thing, man. Yeah, me too. I was rooting for the brain, man. I was definitely rooting for the brain. But I, you know, now I kind of go back and I think about it. Pinky and the Brain, their relationship was rather questionable. Not a big deal. I mean, not a real big deal. I think there might have been an episode or two where there was some questionable things that happened, but not a real big deal. Not a not a complete turn me off from the show, but Pinky and the Brain's relationship was questionable. They definitely killed Jeffrey Epstein. And let's take some calls. I know I've been talking about 45 minutes or so here, so let's see what's going on. What's the motherfucking deal? Who do we have calling into the den this evening?
Hey, Honcho.
Hello, Ms. Bell. How are you this
evening? You know I got to get mine in early.
Oh, how are you doing tonight? First, how are you, Ms. Bell?
I'm doing well. How are you? I'm hoping better from your little staycay.
I've been good. I'm not. I don't think I feel any different. I mean, I'm the same. I don't think I was feeling that bad. So I mean, it's just operating a little differently. But I don't think it's a negative or a positive.
No, I don't think so either. Couple things. Actually, I'm going to work my way backwards. The woman that you were talking about with the rant that she was going on about killing all the men.
Yes.
What a stupid bitch. I mean, you know, even if you're just there for procreation and just there for children, I mean, you got to be there for something.
Yeah.
And not all of us dig being gay, so, you know, if we're on the other team, then stop killing off our, you know, partnerships. Exactly. I just kind of don't get it. It's like, I don't understand. I understand women being angry at men. I understand men being angry at women. But wiping out the whole planet with the opposite sex is really kind of stupid. And that's pretty much all I got to say about that, because it's been probably said since before I was growing up, when a woman or a man get angry with the opposite sex. As far as tonight's topic goes, I really don't have much to say, because I don't really step in on trying to be culturally appropriating or anything else. But I will say this about politics, is that it's more the fact that we've had a lack of quality candidates for years. It's not so much, I think, looking at it as a white person having to make a choice, or, my friends who are multicultural or different ethnicities or whatever you want to call it, from different cultures. The fact is we've not had good candidates. It doesn't matter whether you're black, white, Asian, Hispanic. If you don't have a good candidate to pick, you're still kind of screwed. So I'm kind of wondering where you were going with that.
Really, like I said, it wasn't a general direction. I just was trying to look at things currently, why they are, how they are, and what can make a change. Like I said, to me, politics isn't necessarily the complete answer. But if politicians are opening up economic opportunities, that's the way I would lean, as opposed to being so concerned with the other more frivolous stuff like the identity politics and things of that nature. Like, I think economics are the best way for people to get out of impoverished situations, to deal with other issues. Like I say, money talks, all the rest of that stuff. If you got money in your pocket, you're not worried about a lot of problems that, other people find detrimental. And if you can take care of yourself, you can take care of your family. I think people who are in that position feel much better off than people who feel like, they're struggling. I think they kind of, I won't say over exaggerate, but they focus more so on those problems.
Well, it's interesting that you say that, because I had a really great conversation with a friend of mine, and we were talking about how she's living in North Carolina right now. And for her to go back north, either to the Maryland area or the New York area, because it's predominantly Democratic, and they are more city and urban areas. There's more that offers her in those. Now, where we're in a Republican state, they don't want to pay shit. So I think that's something also that doesn't get talked about, is different states are under different primary, whether they're Democratic or Republican rule, and that makes a huge difference on how the money flows. Democratic states tend to flow the money in the bigger cities a lot better. Republicans, they nickel and dime every goddamn thing. And I'm not playing. I mean, if they don't have to give up for their counties to get this extra benefit or that extra benefit, they don't do it. But yet you go to the bigger cities that are voting primarily Democrat, and there's a lot of expenditures, but there's a lot of availability for different things too. So it's just a different way of looking at it, not so much white and black, but just political, alliances of how each of the cities and how each of the counties are ran in the states. Because that makes a difference too.
Yeah, I agree.
One last thing real quick, actually. I had a boss, loved him, awesome guy. And this was probably going back 20 years. And I said, you come from a certain echelon of wealth. And he's like, yeah. I said, so why do you vote Democrat? He goes, so that I can, control the narrative. And I thought it was very interesting, because he's African American. And in the same office, I had a white boss, and she was primarily Republican, even though all of her voting angles were Democratic. And it was a way for her as a white person to control the narrative within the Republicans. I still don't understand it, nor do I get it. But I thought it was an interesting observation of two opposing sides and why they chose to, quote-unquote, vote with their natural party rather than what they would want to do on a regular thing. Do you see where I'm going with that? And both of them said it in different language that it was, because they wanted to control the narrative of what the other party was doing. And I thought that was quite interesting. And I don't know, that's pretty much all I got. Have you got any questions for me?
No, ma'am. I don't think I do.
Okay. Kind of one of those nights, too. I'm going to jump off and let somebody else jump in because this is really not kind of my topic. But I actually do want to say something.
Okay.
You know, the thing is that the biggest group that has the most influx is going to be the one that's the most pandered to. Who has the most, what's that old saying? The squeaky wheel gets the oil.
Yes, yeah.
Well, right now the Hispanic community has got so much outrage about the things that are going on with the, not just the wall and everything else, but because they're a larger base community and they're getting more and more networking among themselves, then they're the ones that the politicians are going to pander to. You know, that way they can break it down and get their votes and you know, whitewash whatever they want, but doesn't mean that they're going to give them the promises. And that's really, again, what I'm coming back to say, is that we haven't had good quality candidates that don't come under some fire or scrutiny with their behavior or what their choices have and how they've ran their politics.